What up, people? What's good? Salute, salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at @6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. What's good, y'all? Sixth element of hip hop. I am your host, Reno Noir. We got a little bit of a pre-show today. Was ill on Wednesday, could not do the show, and so we had postponed that for today. So just gonna bust it down real quick. We're gonna do this here, and then about 6:30, we're gonna actually switch to another show, which is gonna start then DC Power Hour, which is our regularly scheduled Saturday evening show. But for this little joint here, just to make up for the other day, I do want to give people the opportunity to fully overstand, as I like to say, why the outcry, why the Acolyte having Darth Plagueis, which you would think, oh, this is a good thing, why it's such a bad thing, why it was so horrible, and why it devastated so many fans, and why it should have been the most amazing thing. I mean, obviously the Acolyte, the connotations, just if you've read any of the Darth Bane trilogy, read any of the Sith novels or any of the Old Republic stuff, Darth Plagueis is a great book. But yeah, I mean, all that stuff really expands out on the Sith, and we thought that the show, the Acolyte, because of the word the Acolyte in all those novels, is a Sith apprentice, right? It's a Sith. That's what they call their Padawan, basically. So it's like a Sith Padawan. So yeah, I was super excited when we got the rundown of these are the shows that are going to come out, for Star Wars. This is what Marvel's doing, yada yada yada. The Star Wars shows, out of all of them announced, the Acolyte I was most excited for. Out of everything announced, I was most excited for the Acolyte by far, because I'm a big Sith fan. I'm a big fan of the novels. I'm a big fan of Darth Bane, and just the potential for what that show was supposed to and could have been. It almost hurts as bad as knowing how the sequel trilogy would have been had George Lucas gotten to make his 3 movies. It hurts. But yeah, the Acolyte finale revealed an iconic mythical, I'm not gonna say mythical, an iconic Sith that is fully established, has an entire novel called Darth Plagueis, that we are gonna actually discuss today. You've probably seen it, maybe not. Slade, salute. What the heck is Stu Dog? You tell me, Slade, if you can get Stu Dog to show up before 7 o'clock, 6:30, 6:45, you be my guest, because I can't get him to do it. But he'll be in here as soon as he can. But yeah, Darth Plagueis is a phenomenal novel. But Darth Plagueis is a great character. You remember Palpatine sitting next to Anakin in the prequels. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. But maybe Disney Plus will. The Acolyte has failed to deliver on almost every promise that it made, if you ask me. One thing it promised was that there was going to be better than Duel of Fates. It's just a whole lot of ridiculous call outs, but there was no deep dive whatsoever into the philosophies of the Sith, which is why I was so excited about the show. This never happened because they don't know the philosophies of the Sith. The people making this show are not Star Wars fans. They don't even know anything about what they're talking about. So that's, I think, what hurt them the most, because And I want to say there's one good thing about the Acolyte, and that was the fight choreography. Some of it was decent. It was really really good. I mean, I mean, when we talk about the OG trilogy, but was it better than the prequel fights? No, I don't think so. Not at all. I think they failed to meet that criteria, but that's just me. I don't think it even came close. I don't know where all the people praising it, but plenty of elements from the Legends timeline were used so poorly, so incorrectly, that it's proof that they didn't know the stuff themselves. They probably had literature. They probably had some checklists, something on papers. Oh, this, and I mean, one of the guys in the interview was he thought Anakin blew up the Death Star. So I mean, this is who we're dealing with. Um, the timeline. Oh, is he really? Oh, hang on. Hang on. Stu Dog's trying to get in. Yeah, the timeline. Hang on. I can't. I gotta. Stu Dog is here early. That's crazy. Didn't expect him to be here right now, but he did pop in. Well, tried to. So let's get him over here. Let's see. We do that. Da, 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 da. Did I send him the right one? There you go, buddy. Hang on. All right. Back to the story. The Acolyte. We did get and I think a damning look at the High Republic era, which they swear by, and that's their era, that's their go-to. This is where they live, and that's fine. They can have it because it's trash. The High Republic era, it's garbage, dude. The comics, the books, I read them, and I can't even really believe why or how they even did that. Hold on, let me. Yeah, I don't even know why, but first of all, I want to get to the little. There was one character that fans, obviously have been dying to see in something live action. Uh, you know, and they teased us, or not. They teased us. They gave us this character in the wrong way. You had in the I don't know how else to say it. The camera shifts to focus on a cave, in the rocks, mid early in the episode, the finale, to reveal a long, grotesque alien, claw, coming out of the cave, and then you see, the spooky face. Here it is coming out creepy, and he's all spooky and creepy looking, and he's all got his claw, and he's looking all grimy. I mean, is he not understanding? you know but here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. This is Darth Plagueis. Darth Plagueis is immune. Mune. He's immune. That's Darth Plagueis. Okay. Darth Plagueis. This is Darth Plagueis over on the right. Oh, I think that's actually another version of him. Both of those. So, but that's him in battle. That's him in battle. That is Here he is, in his robes. Um, There he is next to Plagueis or Palpatine. I mean, this is him on the right. You see him. This is the Darth Plagueis novel, and the guy kneeling down, that's Palpatine, and the big, long, stretched out face on the right, that's Plagueis. So he's got a long, narrow head. That's the species called Mune, and they're basically like accountants. They are the accountants of the Star Wars alien world. They're the numbers guys. Darth Tenebris was Plagueis's master. This is Darth Tenebris. That's Darth Plagueis's master right there. And he's definitely more of a warrior, dark type, guy. Plagueis, remember what Palpatine told you, Plagueis's name. He was Darth Plagueis the Wise. Not the creepy, not Darth Plagueis the monster, not Darth Plagueis the skulking in the caverns. No, this guy is like a dignified guy, right? He walks around, he's got like a suit on. He's very, they're like bankers essentially. The immune race, they're like bankers. Stu, I'm gonna mute your mic because it keeps popping and cracking. Okay, and it's a poor representation. It didn't. Hang on, okay. It doesn't. It's like when it's like let's say your favorite character is Mickey Mouse, right? And they say we're going to give you Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is going to be in the show. Oh, okay, great. Mickey Mouse is going to be in the show. And then Mickey Mouse comes up in the show, but he's got pointy ears, fangs. Um, maybe you get my point. He doesn't look like Mickey Mouse, right? He doesn't act like Mickey Mouse. He's not fucking Mickey Mouse just because you called him Mickey Mouse. Uh, you know, but he's definitely the most influential Sith in Star Wars history. Um, and again, he is of the Mune species, Muun, and the only Mune Sith who would be active at this point, is Darth Plagueis. So that's definitely Darth Plagueis in the movie. That's what they're claiming. It's Palpatine's master, subject of the oft named Darth Plagueis the Wise speech from Revenge of the Sith. But in the Legends novel, Darth Plagueis by James Lucerno, we learn that Plagueis served under Darth Tenebris, but slayed him while the pair were investigating planet Baldemnik. And Plagueis' appearance on this mysterious planet that they haven't named seemingly confirms it as Baldemnik. So they are using the Baldemnik planet from the Plagueis novel. The planet is also known for its deposits of cortosis, which is why they go there in the novel. And cortosis is that rare lightsaber force breaking material that Smilo Ren made his helmet out of, and why remember the lightsabers kept shorting out in the battle. That's what that was. But as exciting as Darth Plagueis' appearance should have been, it creates a big problem, a huge problem. If Osha agrees to train with Qimir, that would completely mess with the rule of two, because since Qimir is presumably serving under Darth Plagueis, the only way for Qimir to truly train Osha in accordance with the rule is if he murdered Darth Plagueis, which canonically we know cannot happen, as Palpatine murders him almost a century later. They and Munes don't grow into full adults until they're about 95, so it's a long lifespan. But Plagueis seems to look on disapprovingly at Qimir and Osha. So perhaps he's going to oust Qimir as his apprentice for attempting to break the rule of two. If they're going to stick to canon and lore, I just don't see it. This is how they would have to do it to make it right. Or maybe, like his own master, Darth Tenebris, Plagueis will train Osha as a second apprentice in case Qimir fails. There are also greater implications here for a possible I believe who asked me casual about a season 2. Yes, if there'll be a season 2, so don't pay Disney Plus. Yeah, hey. But yeah, the implications for season 2, Darth Plagueis is gotta turn out to be more than just this spooky, creepy. I hope they get his character right, which clearly they don't seem to be. He's not a guy that's going to be lurking in the shadows, creeping through caves by himself. It's just not how he really gets down. But much like how Darth Sidious hid under the cover of the character Emperor Sheev Palpatine, Darth Plagueis hides in plain sight also as a man named Higo Damask, and which is the leader of a financial institution called Damask Holdings. I'm telling you, he's a banker. In the future of Star Wars stories told in this timeline, we would need to see Plagueis out and about acting under his alter ego, being a banker, walking, an alternate ego that would eventually make him cross paths with the rebellious and frustrated young royal on Naboo named Sheev Palpatine. Darth Plagueis' appearance in this show has people don't quite understand the implications here. What this is saying, right? If he's an active Sith 100 years before the prequels, it means every apprentice that he adopts is doomed to fail in one way or another. But what it really means, and the real problem with it, is that they're implying that Palpatine basically gets his idea for creating life, right? Which the theory is that he and Palpatine created Anakin by inseminating his mother, and with the Force, with this what they're claiming he learns basically from the witches and what they do with Osha, his kind of. And so basically, like, they basically have the nerve to set their whole universe up and time it before George Lucas's universe and say we started it all. We fucking invented everything. Anakin, it's all the whole saga, everything about Star Wars. Yeah, we did that. And that's why they did this, so that they could look back and they could put something in the lore and say, look what they did. And it's just I can't express how bad this is. It's a horrible thing that they did. It's a very, I don't want to say bold, because that kind of gives it's an asshole move. It's a douche move. Um, it's like a slap in the face. But while the Acolyte did in fact have a last minute uh big cameo with Master Yoda as well, which again another like and by the way, he looked like pretty old, like older than he did in the prequels, which again, not thinking there. But yeah, it kind of just went in one, eye and out the other. People forgot they even saw Yoda. No one's talking about Yoda. Obviously because, Plagueis is the bigger deal. If everybody, if you're one of these people who's like, who the fuck is Darth Plagueis? Remember in the prequels, right? At the very last, the third movie, where Anakin and Palpatine are sitting in that auditorium watching the weird, bubble art play thing. I don't know, whatever it is. He says, "Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?" He said, "I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he even kept the ones he cared about from dying. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. He became so powerful. The only thing he was afraid was losing was his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself. And of course, that's because Palpatine is the one that killed him, because it's Palpatine's master. Fans had theorized that Plagueis might show up in the Acolyte. Uh, Casual fans, right? You know, people that are into this show. Given that Qimir likely needed some sort of master, someone above him. Qimir being Smilo Ren. Plus, everyone believed that the planet Qimir was on was Baldemnik, home to a bunch of Cortosis and controlled by Darth Tenebris and Darth Plagueis. I did not even think for a second that Plagueis was going to show up, that Darth Tenebris was going to show up, that Baldemnik was going to be mentioned. Surprised the hell out of me that they even knew who these characters were to even put this guy in the movie, in the show. So I didn't even expect that. But, you know, in the extended universe, which the Acolyte is now making canon, which ironically Kathleen Kennedy, her whole thing was that, you know, Legends was not canon. Bro, they don't, you got nothing else to draw on. It's all they have. So, you know, as, you know, they've been bits and pieces of, you know, little stuff they've been, you know, peppering in, but the apprentice who kills Plagueis in the story obviously is meant to be Palpatine, Darth Sidious, but before Sidious, what they're trying to say is that the idea appears to be that during his artificially extended life, he had another apprentice in the form of Qimir, a character whose future fate is now unknown, but you know, given his introduction to the show. But um, you know, a lot of people believe that the Acolyte, what it's doing is setting Plagueis up to do arguably the most important thing in Star Wars history, the entire epic. It's they create life out of the Force, right? And it appears that the storyline of Osha and May is the key to that, along with the Virgins on their planet, which this is all stolen from George Lucas's original prequel trilogy, The Story of Anakin. They absolutely stole it and timed it to take place before George's. Like, who does that? Like, people just are not getting how fucked up that is. Like, you're essentially saying like that everything George Lucas created, you're putting your guy in front and saying, no, we did that first. It's like what they're about to fucking do with the Rey story. There's a comic series called Dawn of the Jedi where it lays out how the Jedi came to be. It was called the Jedi, like two were apostrophed, you know, Jedi. It had they had lightsabers that were powered only by the dark side, that you had to use the dark side to power them. It was a whole different world, a different universe, but it was the birth of the Jedi Order, the Jedi religion, and the Sith religion as well. The whole thing has been laid out. It contradicts Rey, the whole bullshit with Palpatine, the whole this acolyte nonsense, the higher republic. It contradicts it all. So, you know, they'll be retconning all that. Um, it's just they then they got the Rey movie coming out where they're going to say that Rey creates the new Jedi Order, and you had the guy that was making the Dawn of the Jedi comic book, the Dawn of the Jedi comic series with the birth of Jedi. There's a guy who's supposed to be making that movie, and he was going to be making the movie based on the comic series. Great, I was fucking excited. Then Kathleen Kennedy and her team, the Rey movie, they infiltrate him. They bring him into a room. They sit him down and they say, "We need you to change this, 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 and this to make it fit with our Rey story. We want the Rey. We want to basically go back, face like undo everything George Lucas has done, and say no, it was really this girl." And I mean, this is the worst thing they could do, man. It's the worst thing they could do. They are trying to, instead of trying to just add new fans to the fan base, what they're doing is they're shitting on all the current fans and trying to create a new fan base for a new series, a new franchise. And I just don't. Yeah, it's a stupid thing. It's why are they doing that? Why not just do what you normally do? I mean, do what anyone else would do, which is fucking. You would add new fans by doing what the current fans, giving them what they need, and then building on that. Not saying everything you guys love is now bullshit, trash. We're saying it didn't happen. We're gonna How is that? You tell me. But hey, you know, and right now it's just a theory, but the combination of the confirmation that Plagueis is lurking around and knowing, at least to some extent, how the twins were created, sets up his whole idea on in creating Anakin. But it does remain to be seen if the hyper expensive, little watched, highly hated show is going to return for a season 2. I don't think Disney cares about the YouTuber Twitter drama surrounding the show. They could care less about what I'm saying right now or what anyone's saying. They're not thinking about that. They're looking at numbers. But it's a tall order. I mean, they gave him $180 million, and the apparent fact that it might as well be Disney's Plus's least watched show to date. So if there's a season 2, it's only because the powers that be said, fuck the fact that Acolyte 1 was not successful. We want to do it anyway. We're going to do season 2 anyway because it's what we want to do. This is the story they want to tell. It's not the story anyone wants to fucking hear. But it is what it is. But that's that, man. Stu Dog, I guess Stu ain't never. Oh, he's trying to find his battery or something like that. But he'll be in. But check it out, y'all. If you did roll in for this one, it is 6:30 about to be. So I'm going to wrap this one up and we're going to start the new show. So just check out your notifications. There's a new show that's about to start. It's got a whole new thumbnail. It's DC Power Hour. But this is the end of this show, guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for coming and checking out my Acolyte breakdown. But we're going to hop over to DC Power Hour now. So stay tuned. Watch your notifications. You'll see the next show popping up here momentarily. Hopefully Stu Dog get his thing together. But we'll see you. There he is. Stu Diggy.
What up? What up? What up?
All right, so we're
I
gonna
was
we're
looking.
gonna
I was looking for my portable battery, man. I can't find that one. Oh,
check
that's
it. Check
just
it.
in.
Watch your email or go to your email because this show's over.
All right, I'm
Next
going to
show
a
is
new one.
DC Power Hour. You get it's gonna be a new link. It's a new show, so get the new link and log into it now. And that's it, y'all. We'll see you guys in about a couple minutes. Peace.